Shannon, what was this about?
Skip, what is this about?
What was this about?
Oh, Pat, hold on, Skip. I know this is not the same guy that undercut Chris Paul. Chris Paul bounced like a rubber ball on the floor, and he get up and mark it. This is not the same Pat Bev that crossed Chris Paul over in the second quarter and stared him down. That ain't that Pat Bev. I know that wouldn't be him. Chris Paul hits a jumper in his eyes, got it going, and you shove the man, Skip, you can really hurt because you relax. You're not paying attention. What if Chris Paul suffers an injury, a ligament in his knee or something? Why would you do that? Pat Bev, that guy. What about the Pat Bev that was laughing at Dame Lillard? I told you, he always has been, he always will be a front runner. When things are going well for Pat Bev, he want to key in everybody's face. He want everybody to see me. He getting the crowd up. Get out of here. He doing all this. Now Chris Paul got the upper hand, and you shoved the man. Nah, get on up out of here. Get your butt out of here. Skip, that's weak sauce. That's a punk move. That's a bull jive move. And then Mark Davis go talk about, I got it. Could have been one of my teammates you shoved like that. Especially, not that guy. Now, you might be able to shove one of them other guys, and I'm going to shove you back. But I'm going to steal on you. My guy, if that had been John Elway, and the guy just shoved him, guess what? I get you back. Because you don't believe it? Got cheap shot TD in the Kansas City game Monday night. I got him back. Got fired for it, too. I explained to the head official what happened. They rescinded the fine. But you don't do that. You see, he always doing something. Like, just like he could have hurt him when he undercut him the other night. He could have hurt this man. Because Chris Paul just walking by. Chris Paul, I don't know what he said on the jumper. Maybe he said that thing wet. Gotcha. I don't know. But
I think he said a whole lot more than that.
All I know is that when he walked by, he didn't say anything. And then all of a sudden, Pat Bev gonna shove the man. No. This is the same Pat Bev. Remember a couple of years ago they signed him. He tweeted Steph Curry said, it's my time. Steph Curry tweeting back like, bro, you 31. What you mean it's your time the next 5 years? Don't do that, Pat Bev. That's so weak. Skip, that was a punk move. Straight up punk move. Anybody, any Clipper fan, any Pat Bev fan that says that was not a punk move is full of it. And you know what you're full of. That's a bull jive move.
So, question. Why didn't any of Chris Paul's teammates want to fight Patrick Beverley at that moment?
I don't know. But so what they gonna do? So because here's the thing, Chris Paul like, I got him. See, that's when you know you got some skill. When you can get somebody to act out of character, you got it. Chris Paul said, I got him talk, but that ain't good enough. Skip, don't do that. Why would you do? Skip, the game's over. Just go ahead. When you were talking, when you was doing all that chirping, nobody shoved you. Nobody's ever done a dirty. He borderline dirty because the move that he did on Russ. Remember what he did to Russ? Russ was calling the timeout, and he clipped him. Russ really hadn't been the same since.
I agree.
So he's right on that edge. And sometimes
it was borderline.
Yes, and sometimes
it's like an unwritten rule. If a man's trying to call timeout with the ball under his arm, don't try to snake the ball out of his hand. Don't put him in harm's way.
But now, Pat Bev, why you do that, bro? That was unnecessary. You could have injured this man.
Here's why I believe none of the Suns rushed to Chris Paul's defense. Because they all knew that Chris Paul was giving it to Pat Bev just as much as Pat Bev was giving it back to Chris Paul. Chris Paul will talk some serious below-the-belt sort of trash.
Yes.
Right? And I do not have any doubts that he had said something to Patrick Beverley moments before that you would consider fighting words, especially out in the street.
Yeah.
Okay? They weren't out in the street. They were at the end of a conference finals game. And there was still, 5.5 minutes left in the game. It was clearly way, way over because of Chris Paul. And Patrick Beverley finally said, the game is over, all is lost, and I can't stand this, you know what.
Right, exactly.
And so I'm just going to go give him one big last shove in his back because it can't hurt my team any more than we're already hurt because we're done, right?
Right.
So to your point, it's low class, it's just everything's wrong about it. But I believe Patrick Beverley felt great about it because he got something out of his system that he wanted to get out on a guy whose reputation is no better. In fact, I can make a case it's even worse than his reputation because Chris Paul has a long history in this league, as great a player as he is. And I again, I beheld his greatness last night. But remember, he has a long and bloody history for cheap shotting players.
Yes.
I called up a bunch of headlines this morning, and every headline, watch Chris Paul nail Kevin Durant with a total cheap shot. Julius Hodge trolls Chris Paul. Remember, Julius Hodge, he hit him way below the belt in an ACC tournament game. And then Chris Paul gets ejected from Clippers-Grizzlies Game 6 because he hit Gasol below the belt while he was standing at the free throw line. Then there was Chris Kaman shoves Chris Paul off at another groin shot. You know, I can do one after another. It's just who he is. He's a little pit bull who wants to win so badly. He loses it sometimes and just goes completely over the edge.
And you saw Boogie Cousins say, that's why nobody like your weak you-know-what.
That's what he was trying to tell him, because can we see that play? Again, Chris made the nice play to score the basketball, and then I thought this was borderline cheap here. So
This was
the one. Yeah, this nice, sweet little finger roll, and then he kind of goes up under and sort of accidentally bumps into Boogie, who was just trying to get the ball out of bounds, and all of a sudden DeMarcus Cousins gets called for a technical foul, and again, Chris Paul is one of the all-time great flop artists in the history of this league. So is Patrick Beverley.
Correct.
But they live by the flop because they've gotten a lot of calls via the flop. Okay? So here's DeMarcus. He's like me again. You know, like you're he got me. But he got you good because he set you up for that.
But I think that the biggest thing was why they didn't react is that they have more games to come. And the last thing you need, Skip, is to get suspended. Because remember what happened to Phoenix before?
I know, and Monty
Starr came up.
I know, I got it. Monty Williams has taught him all year. You got to keep your poise.
That's what he says, poise.
I got it. I got it. But there's some moment when Shannon Sharpe says, "Okay, that's over the line. I don't care what happens. You're going to hear this."
We've been talking the whole. Okay, once we start talking, Skip, we talking. Okay, you saying things, I'm saying things. Okay, how nasty we gonna get it? And you go, okay, if that's where we going, that's where we going.
There are rules, and then there are broken rules.
But, okay, once you
what did you always tell me about your trash talk? You just can't go personal.
Right. No, I'm not. You know, I'm not gonna talk about your wife or your kids or anything like that. But I'm gonna talk about your punk. You know what? Okay. So it's gonna be me and you. Your wife ain't got nothing to do with it. Your girlfriend ain't got nothing to do with it. Well, maybe. But anyway, wife and girlfriend are two different things. But I ain't talking about
you know, there are certain lines you don't cross.
I ain't talking about nobody.
I just believe Chris Paul crossed some line with Patrick Beverley, and you can say he deserved to cross the line.
It's hard for me to believe that in Patrick Beverley, the way he's played, the way he's had to grind to get to where he is, he hasn't stepped over the line as far as trash talking. It's hard for me to believe that because I believe he stepped over the line in some occasions in the way he plays the game.
Okay, I agree. Now, the incident at Phoenix in Game 5, I just thought Patrick Beverley was fighting over a pick, which was actually a moving screen by Ayton in which he was bumping into Patrick. I did not think he intentionally rammed into Chris Paul.
No, he didn't, Skip. Chris Paul was trying to draw a charge. But what happened is that Pat Bev fought up under the screen, but he ended up clipping him. He did clip him.
Okay,
he didn't mean to do it.
I don't think he was even trying to clip him, and Chris Paul went down like he was shot.
Skip, the man's up in the air. So what was he supposed to do?
Because he's jumping into him, trying to draw a foul call. And by the way, Chris Paul came down hard on his butt, man. That was a...
But this is the thing right here. Okay, now he's doing that.
Okay, this is what he does.
Okay.
Because he does believe he's a flopper. And so in front of the Phoenix fans and in front of the Phoenix team, he's just clowning him.
Yeah.
Well, who would dare to do that to the point guard?
Right.
Well, only Pat Bev.
But see, the thing was, he winning. He front running. Everything's okay. But the moment somebody else get a hammer, he wants you to handle him. Hey, it's glass, handle with care. Do not break. Nah, bro. Oh, I'm going to give you everything plus more than what you gave me. I remember when Skip, he crossed Chris Paul over. Can we see this? Jim, do we have a video of when he crossed Chris Paul over in the second quarter?
It was something, man.
Look at this. This is what he does. Woo, look at him dance. Looking like Steph Curry and Dame Lillard. Look at him get to the basket. Now look what he does. Look at him. Yeah. He said something. Chris Paul ain't shoving.
Shannon Sharpe would have said something too.
Look at this. Look at him.
Yep.
Oh.
Well, he deserved to.
Now. You all key, and you were skinning and grinning just a minute ago. Oh, boy, and I see what happens, Skip. Just imagine you went hunting and a lion had a gun, or an elephant had a gun while you hunting him, he hunting you. You see what happened, Pat Bev?
Yep.
Hell, you over there just cheesing in Chris Paul's face. Chris Paul said, pat, 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 pat.
Yep.
And now look at him. Now you want to shove the man.
Okay, I do not condone the shove, but I believe that Patrick Beverley was immensely satisfied by shoving it
I
in the
believe
back.
Pat Bev deserved it. Whatever Chris Paul say, he deserved it. I don't even know what Chris Paul say, but he deserved it.
You could argue that because I think they were both giving and taking, like way below the belt.
There's no greater feeling. There's no greater feeling, Skip, because I've been able to do that. I've been able to get up on the guy's skin so bad they get a personal foul. We got like 3 or 4 of them. If you don't believe it, go back and look at Kansas City in 1998. They called it the Monday Night Meltdown. Boy, I was drawing personal foul left and right. Because I was on top of my talk game back then, Skip. I was on top of the talk game. I told Mike, I said, Mike, call whatever you want. We're going to go down the field. He said, what you mean, 84? I said, I got this. Hey, you call whatever. If you want to take a knee, take a knee. But we're going to go down the field because I'm finna get some personal fouls. And I started talking. If you don't believe me, go back and look it up. The 98 called it the Monday Night Meltdown. I was on top of my game.
Okay, but so was Chris.
No, Chris Paul, he comes
In
out.
fact, Monty Williams said after the game, Chris looked at me at one point in the fourth quarter like, I got this.
Okay, well, that's what Monty say. Oh, Monty. The more Monty. Oh, Monty, I like Monty. Monty might be one of my favorite coaches.
So, in final analysis, I'm going to say Patrick Beverley played his you-know-what off in this series. He played as hard as you can play, and his defensive disruption was a key to the Clippers even having a chance to be in this.
Okay.
But then it all went over the cliff. Okay, I got it.
Oh, Cliff Paul showed up.
That's true.
Because you know when Cliff show up, that means everything gonna be okay. He wasn't Chris Paul last night, he was Cliff. Because Chris Paul worried. Cliff Paul let him know everything gonna be, he talking to Jake.
Yeah.
We covered.
Well, the Clippers needed Jake from State Farm, right? The Clippers needed a lot of insurance.
Cliff Paul showed up and made sure everything was okay.
Oh, I don't know.
That was great.
This was cheap to me. What about Chris Paul's shoulder? It's been
Yes,
what if he had injured him?
Couldn't get that man whiplash.
I thought it was
He was
a little
laughing about it because he loved it.
Because he got Bev ejected.
I am very old school, apparently.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.